We have a fan, David Marver. Just first heard about this guy last week. Loves the Padres so much, he made a 35-minute and something second documentary about him. Here is the first half minute of that documentary.
For the 93 fire sale? Of course you do. How about strike 3 to Tino Martinez? That one still ticks me off. Or, more recently, Matt Holliday out at home plate? As a Padres fan, you've experienced your fair share of heartbreaking moments. However, what you're about to see may depress you even more. Padres, the sad truth.
We bring in David Marver. Man.
Thanks for joining us.
Whew. All I can say is you created a 36-minute documentary. And it's on your Facebook page, Change the Padres. Mm-hmm. You have 1,141 likes the last time I'm not a Facebooker. I get that that's a lot. You have TV, radio segments going back 5 years or more. How long did it take you to put this thing together?
Well, a lot of the clips I've been bookmarking since about 2009. Right around the PV trade, every time ownership said something or a front office executive said something, I just bookmark it.
This guy's house cleaner than yours, Sandy.
I know.
I can tell
I'm
right
thinking,
now.
Well, because I was watching it, and you have interviews, with Jeff Morad. You have interviews with players that date back to 2007, 2006, and so I'm thinking, did you decide then, hey, down the road I might want to do this, or did you just know something's weird? I want to keep, bookmarking this and see if it all adds up somehow someday?
I don't really think I had making a documentary in mind.
Right.
It just kind of came to me at one point in time. I looked at my bookmarks and there were just so many. I was like, I could really do something with this. I had a lot of friends who thought I was a fool for not attending, and I kind of really just started making it just so I could show my friends, just to explain why I wasn't going. What
kind of Padres fan, if we take that further, what kind of Padres fan were you, I guess, and how did that lead to you making this video?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. My parents were season tickets holders for a while. I went up to school in Santa Barbara, and I still would buy individual game tickets and come home for the weekend and go to an entire series. I mean, I was there when Bonds tied the record. I mean, really, this is, it is about the fact that I am a huge fan, and that a lot of these people are huge fans, and they'd love to go to the game and follow the team, and right now they just don't feel like in their hearts they should.
This town loves the Padres when they're winning, and there's nothing to say but apathy, widespread when they're losing. But there's a passionate fan like you. You got your jersey on. And I want to get to later about what your mission is and all that. But what was the tipping point where you went from, hey, I'm going to show my friends some things, to I'm making a documentary?
Yeah, so I have a lot of friends and acquaintances I've met through the internet as well. And I think there's a lot of groundswell on the internet for it. And I started putting it together, like I said, for my friends. And once I got to about 5 or 10 minutes worth of stuff, and I still realized I had so many sources, I really said, I can make this a lot bigger than it is, and I kind of structured it, and it really just took off from there.
Well, the main points of the documentary are that the Padres organization has lied to fans, that they're the cheapest team in baseball, and that the new owners are pretty much exactly like the old owners. So that first statement, that's a bold statement. Hey fans, this organization's lying to you. For anyone who hasn't seen the documentary, what's your main, reasoning behind that statement?
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. For anyone who watches the documentary, you'll see that there's a lot of things that ownership says explicitly, such as Jeff Morad in his first fan chat with fans said that he really hoped that Jake Peavy would be a Padre for years to come. And then he was traded 3 months later. And, the salary, it wasn't like it was a baseball move, in my opinion. The salary that would have gone to Peavy was never put back in the team. And so it was so transparent that they had lied to us, and similar things like that.
You have many of those things, and to the next 2 points, you document very interestingly and very thoroughly that they're, over the last 4 years, taking into account payroll, money spent on international players, the amateur draft, the cheapest team in baseball. It's a very interesting part of the documentary. I believe, when he was here and he was the owner, I was clear that I didn't like John Moores. I believe Jeff Morad, good intentions got in over his head. That's not excusing it. That's my take on it. I do wonder when you do make some leaps in there, when you're talking about a guy, maybe a Josh Burns coming on and in a press conference or a radio clip, talking about how he'd like to keep a player, or that this is going to be their direction, or this is what they might do. And 7 months later, he, as an employee of the owner, has to do something. And then you are asserting that Josh Burns is a liar. And that's a little bit of a stretch for me. And I also wanted to ask, I love that you call out the new owners, okay? But to say that they're the same as the old owners, I think that's going a little far. We haven't seen that yet. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, I think a good amount of why I did this is it's better to put pressure on ownership to begin with. Because if let's pretend that Chase Headley produces like he did last season, and 4 months from now he's traded. I mean, we're all going to look back at that with disappointment. I think it's better right now to come out and say, hey, if that happens, we're all going to be really disappointed. And if you do sign him, a lot of these fans, which haven't come to the game in a long time, will come back. And I think that can be used to the advantage of the Padres. There is a lot of money to be made by bringing all these disenfranchised fans back. I've been getting messages from fans that have been going to games since 1969 saying, I used to have season tickets. I had season tickets from 1969 all the way to 2008. And they would love to go to games again. And so I think a lot of this is putting the pressure up front and hoping that might impact the way they act.
And this is kind of like an activist thing for you, where you want. I mean, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like, I saw you guys at FanFest, and you're kind of trying to spread the message. What do you want money from this? Do you want there to be more of a movement? What do you hope that that people get out of this?
Well, I don't want any money from it, and I don't think anyone with Change the Padres wants to make any money from it. Personally, I think we just want ownership that is transparent, that's fair to its fans, and lives by its promises. Because I think for so long, Padres fans have been so fair to ownership. I mean, the last ownership group, we went through that whole, if you come out to the game, we'll invest all those revenues back into the team. And we're kind of switching the table to, now if you invest in the team, we'll bring you back all the revenues. And I think that's fair to the fans this time around.
Will you go to games this season?
We'll see.
Okay.
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
Right.
And that is something, for some of the leaps that I do think that you take, and hey, I respect the heck out of what you did, and you made some great points and explained them really well to the fans. And I encourage people that want to know to go anywhere to find information, but Change the Padres, your Facebook page, Change the Padres. The video's there. Spend 30 seconds, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I like that you tell people, don't go to games or go to fewer games. Don't buy and tell, but then come back when they come through.
Absolutely.
David, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us,
and we'll
David.
see you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching.
We're headed to spring training, by the way.